has been introduced in the Roundhouse.
Tomorrow, lawmakers take up the first major debate over the future of New Mexico's film industry incentives. But there's still one lingering question that no one can answer for certain. Is New Mexico making money off movie making? Here's News 13's Jim Winchester.
Well, Diane, New Mexico reimburses filmmakers 25% of all the money they spend in the state during production. So how much bang for its buck is New Mexico really getting?
Representative Dennis Kintai says the majority of independent studies on the economic impact of the film industry on a state proves that New Mexico is getting little return on its investment.
Study after study after study by different economists in different states, not the same group of people, but independent and separate, conclude that the return on dollars to the Treasury is anywhere from 7 to 28 cents.
So tomorrow, for the third time in 3 years, the Roswell Republican will introduce a bill in committee to completely eliminate New Mexico's film subsidies. He says the only real hard numbers out there, $180 million that the state has paid out to film companies over the past 3 years.
And they're saying if we do not continue this subsidy at the same level, they will pack up and leave tomorrow. Well, if we'd spent that $180 million on roads, we would have had construction jobs for 3 years, and then those jobs would be gone. But you know what? We would still have the highways.
But defenders of the film subsidies quickly point out that's a narrow view of the economic impact.
They're focused on the amount that gets paid out in the rebate without telling you the next part of the sentence, which is 4 times that amount of money was spent in New Mexico with New Mexico businesses, creating New Mexico jobs.
Democratic Representative Brian Egoff of Santa Fe calls any attempt to dismantle the film program anti-business.
All it's going to do is add to the unemployment rolls and hurt the economy.
Governor Susana Martinez says the problem is nobody knows how much money the film industry generates for the state, because nobody knows how much of the money trickles down to workers and businesses, then comes back in the form of taxes.
Because those figures aren't provided to state government.
Martinez says rolling back the subsidy to 15% is a good compromise.
We can continue to fund Hollywood at 25% on the backs of our kids, or we can start cutting back and scaling back, but still embracing the film industry in New Mexico, but not at the level that we've been doing in the past.
Another bill that will be taken up this session calls for collecting more information on how the film industry spends its money in New Mexico so the state can get a better handle on the economic impact. Diane, back to you.
Okay, Jim, if New Mexico slashes its film subsidy, it would be lower than half of the states in the country and less of a draw for filmmakers. The number of major productions in New Mexico has more than doubled since the state boosted incentives to 25% back in 2003.
Texting while driving.